Hey, my friend, I know you are doing so well. Hey, we're on day 3 on how to pivot, how to realign yourself, how to go over obstacle, how to ride a wave, whatever you want to call, how to, boost the business, how to re-strategize the business, how to bring that new wind into the business. Sometime in business, in life, we get to that point when we plateau, right? It looks like nothing is working again, and that's where people give up. And you have to have strategy to, charge up again and then press and pursue your goal. So today we'll talk about the number 3 way that you can use to pivot. The reality is that, when you're in business, there's one thing that you must focus on, and you're actually in business for a reason, right? And most of the time we get into business because we identify a problem that we want to solve. When you identify that problem that you want to solve, and you can just target a broad audience. For example, I can say, well, I want to help students. I want to help African students to come to pursue their career in America. That can be my business model, or maybe the mission. Like, hey, my goal is my mission. I want to go and help a lot of African students and help them find university in America, just something like that. So in that, you see, I have a broad people. It's not like young kids and maybe an adult or those who want to do continuing education. It's just anybody want to start in America, right? So sometimes when business is not going right or things are not going the way it was expected, in order to pivot, you have to do customer segmentation. So you have to redefine your audience. You have to narrow down to like, okay, where exactly should I go after now? Like, you can have a broad audience when you start a business, but, as you are pushing in, you have to start asking yourself, okay, why this thing is not working the way I was expecting, or why I'm not getting the result that I needed. So in order to adjust and pivot, the third point is that you can retag a specific audience. If you only had to use the illustration, if you had to stick with the illustration I used earlier, let's say I want to bring students, African audience here, and to go to school. So it's going to be something like this, right? Okay, I like to use this. So that's a little bit broad. My goals is, African to come and start in the US, right? So that's the goal. So I'm looking for people from Ghana, people from Cameroon, people from Nigeria, and and so on, South Africa, and so on, to come in, just the whole Africa. Now I can look back and say, well, you know what? Who should I really focus on it? Either I can keep the same thing, but focus on those who just finished high school. That's it. Or those who want to focus on the doctoral degree. That's it. So it narrowed down to a specific track, to a specific group of people. So instead of use a broad approach, I go ahead and narrow down so I can see the result quicker. Remember, the more you truly design your customer avatar, the more you really target and narrow down to a specific person you are looking for, the easy it's going to be to fill your funnel. When you get to that narrow, to the bottom line, it's going to be so easy to fill the funnel. The funnel. So the third point to pivot is to ask your question. What is really my target client? And go from the broad to the narrow one. Sometimes you have to go to something almost like this. I see company do this. They was doing almost everything, and they narrowed down to like one thing. And they went from this one thing to, start doing big. So from the broad to a one thing. And then from that one thing, you start get the income you are looking for. You start get the result you are looking for. Customer segmentation is very, very, very important. When business is not going the way you was expected, you have to go down to a distinction and get the true avatar of the customer that you are looking for. All right. Tomorrow we'll talk about the point number 3. What should you focus on? I'm trying to give you a muscle to overcome every adversity, and this work in life and in your career too. You went to school to study certain stuff, and for some reason it's not working. What could you narrow down to it and not just be a generalist? How can you bring distinction to regain momentum before you can flow this way again? It doesn't mean that you have to stay that way. Sometime to pick yourself back up, you need to do this so you can flow again. All right, go ahead and put in the chat room. How do you apply this in your business and in your life? Sometimes we have to consolidate again. We need to, to go back and get that customer avatar and refocus everything to exactly the person, the ideal client that we are looking for. And boom, the business will jump and give us the result that we are looking for. All right, see you tomorrow.